So one really has to step back and sort of observe the landscape, see what's happening. And it seems that a couple of things. One, we see the rantings of a madman, which is not going to stop. We see the markets not really being moved one way or the other, but probably doing some level of profit taking, which is normal. We see two presidential aspirants in the Republican Party, Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, I think doing their best to keep their heads down and to distance themselves from the rantings of this madman and from the rest of the Republican Party. Why do I say that? Trump's approval rating today has reached a whole new low. He's like below 35% at this point. The Republican Party is being entirely blamed for the shutdown of TSA, the guys who check you at the airport and your luggage through the conveyor belt and etc. They were not being paid until now, with Trump saying that he's ordering DHS to pay them. However, Congress has not approved funding to pay them. So Trump thought one way to resolve this or to threaten the Democrats is to now put ICE agents into airports. Didn't help. The Democrats are being generally not blamed, which was Trump's hope. It's Republicans who are being blamed for rejecting deal after deal after deal that the Democrats put on the table. So Rubio and Vance take a look at this landscape and they say, oh shit. Not only is the party becoming deeply unpopular in the country, it is being entirely blamed for all the woes. And Trump himself, his approval rating is falling fast. The disapproval for the Iran war is huge. It's over 60%. The disapproval for sending in ground troops is even higher. So they can see the writing on the wall. They can see that the midterms could blow them out and Trump could be impeached and all of them in big trouble as well. Rubio and Vance can probably also see war crimes that have happened. So what does Rubio do today? He doesn't come out in front of the press, but he makes a video statement. So he makes this video statement at about 8:30 this morning, and he says, scolding all of us, the public of the US and everybody else, here are the clear objectives of the operation. Notice he doesn't call it a war. You should write them down. This is a man who's been a senator, so he knows very well that it is Congress that's authorized to declare war. Anyways, you should write this down. 1, the destruction of Iran's Air Force. 2, the destruction of their Navy. 3, the severe diminishing of their missile launching capability. 4, the destruction of their factories. Notice what is missing here. What is missing is regime change and nuclear capabilities. No mention of regime change. No mention of nuclear. He is listing everything which they can then say See, we told you on the 31st day of this war, with Brent crude at 116. See, we told you these were our objectives, and we've met them. Therefore, we've won the war. There's a third thing that hasn't been mentioned: the Strait of Hormuz. It does not mention it, the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, because he sounds so stupid saying that. Once again, they have to be reminded the Strait of Hormuz was open, fully open, unmolested, shipping, traffic, until they actually attacked Iran. So what's missing? Opening the Strait of Hormuz, regime change, destroying Iran's nuclear capability. So this is Rubio giving Trump an exit. The question is, within minutes, Trump's spewings change everything. So if the markets start ignoring Trump and start paying attention to the likes of Rubio and Vance, that's now a huge indication of what the senior most members of Trump's cabinet are signaling. But what they're really signaling is their 2028 chances are being tanked. They are being tagged with this horror. And Rubio, at least, has been doing everything possible to remove himself from being tagged with this. Vance has already distanced himself from this. And even Trump seems to acknowledge that Vance has a different view. But on the 31st day, for Marco Rubio to tell us there are 4 clear objectives and we should write them down: the destruction of Iran's air force, the destruction of their navy, the severe diminishing of their missile launching capability, the destruction of their factories. The 4th one actually is a war crime, because he's attacking livelihoods, he's attacking food production, he's attacking factories that produce basic livelihood matters. So maybe he didn't figure that one out, but maybe he should. The destruction of their factories. So yes, no mention of Strait of Hormuz, no mention of nuclear, no mention of regime change. Meanwhile, his boss is saying in a phone call to Bloomberg that they're dealing with Mr. Ghalibaf, the Speaker of the Parliament. You know, remember the guy who was trolling Trump yesterday and whose financial advice to all of us actually turned out to be true? That guy. So he is telling Bloomberg repeatedly that they're dealing with Ghalibaf and that they'll know in a week or not if he's the guy to deal with. Get that? That is what is going on now. While Trump is saying we've achieved regime change, we've obliterated Iran, but we're going to obliterate Iran. We've obliterated them, but we're going to obliterate them. Marco Rubio is finding his own off-ramp. The state of affairs at the White House are quite definitely pathetic. Meanwhile, the world remains truly imperiled by deeply incompetent, deeply clownish, and deeply murderous people who are actually watching this like a video game. And for the President of the United States, who says killing people is fun, in a nutshell, That is what he is saying. So just wanted to make sure that I took a little bit of time to step back and took a view of what is going on with these official statements. And I think Marco Rubio's video is significant.